Do you actually need a mortgage in principle to get a house in the UK? Or is this just a common myth that people say you need to have one? Because getting this wrong can either slow you down or stop your purchase altogether. Well, the short answer is technically no, you don't need a mortgage in principle. But having one can completely change what happens when you actually go to buy a property. My name's Joseph, but you can call me Joe. I'm a mortgage and protection advisor in the UK, and I help first-time buyers and home movers just like you every single day get the home of their dreams. And this video is going to give you the essential bits of information on a mortgage in principle. Enjoy. A mortgage in principle is essentially a mortgage advisor or a lender basically saying this is how much you can have based on what we can see from your circumstances. But that's not really the part that most people misunderstand. Let me show you what it actually looks like in practice. You start viewing properties, things are looking really good. You may even think this property is the one. This is the one where I can see myself and my family living for the long term. And your thought in the background is, I'll sort the mortgage later. Don't worry about it right now. Let's find the house, sort the mortgage later. And then you stumble across the perfect property for you and your family. You're really happy. You can see yourself there for the long term. And then all of a sudden, you want to put an offer on the property. And then the estate agent asks the big question, do you have your mortgage in principle? And of course, your answer is no, I haven't got one in place just yet. And straight away, you've just told the representative of the seller, the person trying to get the best offer for the seller, that you're not serious. You're not ready and you're not prepared to buy the house. Another buyer comes in the exact same day at the exact same price. Guess what? They have their mortgage agreed in principle. This buyer is ready, they're serious, and they can afford to buy the property because they've done the work prior. Same property, same offer, you lose. And unfortunately, that's the reality if you don't get a mortgage in principle. You're not going to be taken seriously, or at least you're not going to be taken as seriously as someone that's done the work prior to putting an offer in on a property. You could also just be wasting your time. You could be looking at properties that you can't afford because you've misjudged what you can afford on a monthly basis, or at least you've used maybe outdated information that's available online. And essentially, you've already put yourself one step behind everyone else because you haven't done the work that other people have potentially been willing to do. But here's where it gets confusing. You can still make an offer on a property without a mortgage in principle. So why does everyone say that you need it, or at least why does everyone pursue it before putting an offer in on a property? Because you need to put yourself in the other position. You have two buyers. You have buyer A, who's guessing, and they're not fully ready to buy a house. That's because they haven't got their mortgage in principle. They don't really know much about mortgages at all, other than the fact that they think they can get enough to buy this property. Buyer B, they have their mortgage in principle and they know exactly when and how they can move to that property. So they know what they can afford and they know their timeline. If you're the seller, which one of these are you picking? Are you picking the one that doesn't have their mortgage in principle? Are you picking the one that does have their mortgage in principle? Now that is what a mortgage in principle does. It doesn't give you permission to buy someone's home. It gives you an advantage over someone else who is trying to buy that home as well. Your job as a buyer, especially if you want to get the best possible deal on the property, is to position yourself better than other people, even if you're offering the same amount of money. Now, there are three different stages where this may or may not pop up, and it really does depend on the property, the estate agent, and the seller itself. The first stage where this might be requested from you is when you're actually booking a viewing in the first place. So sometimes estate agents only want buyer-ready people coming to view a property. Sometimes this is more likely to happen when it's a lot faster of a market. There's a lot of people looking at properties because, again, estate agents have to pick up the bunch. After making an offer, if an estate agent wants to make sure you're serious, they will come back to you and potentially ask for your agreement in principle because they need to know and prove to the seller that you can actually afford what you're offering. And then the third moment where this can come up is, again, after you're making an offer, it's when they are comparing different buyers. They need to make sure who is in the best possible position, especially if 3 or 2 other people have come in at the exact same price as you have. They need to make sure that they're picking the best one. If it's not based on price, it needs to be based on circumstances. Who's ready, who can get the timeline, and who is most prepared to meet the needs of the seller. And I genuinely mean this when I say it. This is where deals can be lost or won. And again, the seller's looking for the strongest potential buyer. So again, I ask you, who are you picking? If someone's offering you the exact same amount of money and they don't have an agreement in principle, or someone that's giving you the exact same amount of money but they do have an agreement in principle. If you're selling your home, your family home, which one of those are you going to pick? I have to stress this. Even when people get their agreement in principle, you still see people making really common mistakes. People get it wrong all the time. People are getting their agreement in principle too late, not updating the agreement in line with any potential life changes, but also in line with your offer itself. So if you've got an agreement in principle for £400,000, but you're looking at a property that's £380,000, you should update that agreement to reflect £380,000 if you're offering that amount, because you do not want to show the seller side, so the estate agent, you can afford more than you're offering on that property. It's always risky sending that to an estate agent because it can work against you in so many different ways. But the main way would be an estate agent now knows you can pay more for that property, therefore increasing your original offer. And the final common mistake we see is people thinking that an agreement in principle is a guarantee that you're going to secure that mortgage. You have to understand that the mortgage isn't just about your personal circumstances. It is also about the property, but also you have to go through full underwriting once an offer has been accepted on a property, because then you have to go through the full mortgage application. So remember, an agreement in principle is just that. It's in principle, subject to full underwriting and a full valuation from a lender. And those three mistakes can catch you out at the exact moment it matters most. I do need to be fair, there are moments where you don't need an agreement in principle right away. If you are just browsing online, you're not actually seriously looking or seriously planning, then again, you don't need an agreement in principle. The second you are serious, get your agreement. Now I have to say, the smartest buyers that I see coming into the market, they don't just get an agreement, they use it to their full advantage. The smartest buyers get their agreement early so they can plan and view the right properties at the right price and also know their negotiation tactics, which enables them to move quickly on properties as and when they're available at the right price range, which means they can not only move quickly as in get the offer in as fast as they humanly can, but it also means they can basically say to a seller, we can provide you whatever timescales you need. If it's 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever you need, we are there, we are ready, and we're not going to make your life any harder. And finally, people use the agreement to strengthen their position. They make sure that if they're offering a certain amount, the agreement is there and it's swiftly there with their offer, basically showing, yes, we can offer this, but yes, we can also afford this amount. They also don't use it against themselves, so they show the exact amount rather than saying, look, we can afford more than we're offering, but this is all we're prepared to offer on this property. And that's what separates a smart buyer from everyone else. So the question shouldn't be, do I need a mortgage in principle? It's, do I want to be in the strongest possible position to buy this home? And do I want to be in the strongest possible position when I put an offer in on a property? If you are genuinely serious about buying a house, you should have this in place as a matter of priority. Before you even start going out and looking at properties, you want to make sure this is in place so that you're ready and you're actually viewing properties that you can afford in the first place. And no, it's not a requirement, but it is the easiest possible way you can put yourself in the most advantageous position when buying a property in the UK. So take that advantage and use it for yourself. And if you want to know how much your agreement in principle would look like, that's exactly what I help people with every single day. You can go into the description of this video, go down to the meeting link, click that link, go through to the page where you'll be able to see a bunch of different dates that are available for a 15-minute to 30-minute phone call. Find the date, and then it's going to give you a bunch of different times where you're available and where I'm available as well. Find the time, book in the call, and we can go through your situation, get you agreed, and provide you some tips and tricks on how to buy your home in the UK. I really hope this video was really useful for any of you watching this and that got to this point. I have the perfect video on your screen right now, which is what estate agents don't tell you when you're buying a house. And remember, the estate agent works for the seller. So understanding anything that they're hiding can put you in a massively advantageous position. So click that video, watch it through, enjoy it, and I hope to be speaking to you very, very soon.